chance to do something each and every year, and this year is no different. We get a chance to celebrate our own. We get a chance to highlight our own. And this is with no doubt, this is one of our favorite friends of the show.
Yes.
Man, joining us right now on this Salute to Champions. Get ready for our 2024 Salute to Champions recipient next.
Black History Month is an integral part of our nation's tradition, in which we continue to recognize and promote positive, impactful individuals. The Sports Shop with Reese and K-Mac, Salute to Champions, would like to recognize this individual for their contribution.
Every year, man, it's just crazy.
I'm trying to tell you. But look, the intro says this individual. I'm going to change it. They say these individuals.
Exactly.
Dave's Chicken and Waffles, the guys from Dave's are joining us. Welcome to the show, fellas. How y'all doing?
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Hey, look, this is what I will say. You guys, a lot of people hear the story. They think they know the story. They understand. But if they knew the depthness and the richness of the story between you two gentlemen and what you guys have created here in the Triangle, man, it's phenomenal. And I want to say personally, congratulations on being a friend of the show for almost a decade now. So we really do appreciate that. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. And just want to thank God for the opportunity to highlight ourselves and the business and just to give back once again. So we can't do it without our fans and our support like yours. So thank you foremost.
No, well, thank you guys. I mean, Damien, of course, Randy. So let's start from the beginning. You guys met in college, Randy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We met, what, like 1990?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 1990.
1990, came in at the same time at UNC Greensboro. You know, both of us were business majors, lived in the same dormitory, you know, so it's a lot of history here.
So you guys hung out together. Y'all was boys.
No.
No. You got to talk about that, D.
I'll just put it like this. We had different lifestyle interests.
On a small campus.
Yeah, on a very small campus.
But we're going to leave that one alone, but go ahead.
I tended to be maybe a little more socially involved.
Okay.
And so forth. But, yeah, that's where it began. And I used to joke and say he tried to steal my girlfriend at the time. And that's how we met. But it wasn't quite that way. But we didn't really know each other well. We had some mutual friends. But because we're brothers of color on a predominantly white campus, we soon ran into each other, and we developed a kindredness, between living in the same hall and also being in the same major.
So, Randy, how did y'all separate from that to getting in business together? Talk about that.
Well, before we left UNCG, we both played the same fraternity. We both members.
Unfortunately, y'all did. It's all good.
Oh, okay. Y'all figured it out.
We
all good.
Get a part of the best that made us best of friends. You know what I'm saying?
We love that.
But we fast forward a lot of years. I'm working in corporate America. Damien's working, and doing his thing. He's been through corporate America, and then he was catering. We both sat down one day, never lost a friendship, never separated, and we both sat down one day and decided we want to do something together. And it may have taken us 3-4 years before we actually turned that into something.
It was a while.
But we never let it go.
To Mississippi, and then we finally got it together.
Got together and decided we were going to do something together. And one day we were sitting around talking, and Damien was catering, and I asked him, "What's the biggest, seller on your catering menu?" And he said, "Chicken and waffles," and boom. And we just took it from there. Yeah, started growing from there.
Wow, that is a story.
I know
that. There's a lot of pieces that missing.
Yeah. a lot of pieces missing. You don't want to hear that.
A lot of pieces missing. But just hearing about, like you going to ask him, say, okay, what's the biggest seller on your menu? What are you doing? But to turn that, but before you get to that point, to say, I have a love and a passion for this business, and I have a love and passion for serving or serving food or cooking food. Talk about where that kind of inspiration came from and where that started.
Well, for me personally, it's in my blood. It's definitely in my blood. Most of the people in my family are excellent cooks. My family hails from on my father's side from Louisiana, as well as Mexico. My mother's family is from North Carolina, South Carolina, and we just are steeped in the culinary world. Not necessarily professional cooks, but just tremendous at-home cooks. My great-grandmother was a pastry chef, so it stems from that. And I didn't know all this growing up. It's just something that I kind of grew into, and as I became older and found out more about my family, I started to realize and actualize some of these things, and it started to make more sense to me, and it also gave me more motivation and drive. I cook because I love the art. I love to serve people, and I love to see the reaction and the response to the things we created. It's very rewarding for me.
Oh, man, we are having an unbelievable conversation with the owners of Dame's Chicken and Waffles. You got Damien, you got Randy here. And the thing is that you guys has created a culture here in North Carolina. Talk about your locations and why you guys picked those locations and that kind of thing.
All right. We started out in Durham in 2010, and mainly we started in Durham because that's where Damien had his reputation. That's where he had the city in the chokehold, with that catering.
Yep.
And that hence the name Dame's Chicken and Waffles. Everybody knew Dame, so we knew if we threw his name out there, everybody was gonna come to him.
Yep.
We fast forward 2 years after that to 2012. We opened up the Greensboro location, and that's taking us back to home because we all were graduates from UNC Greensboro. So we took ourselves back to familiar territory. Then we sat still for a little while, maybe about 3 years, around 2015, 16, and came back with the Cary location and got that one rolling. So we still in the process of growing.
I'm gonna say this: we didn't really sit still in between that period between our Greensboro and Cary location. We did a partnership with Duke University dining services.
I remember that.
That was a growth opportunity, somewhat, but it was really a learning opportunity for us because it exposed us to new audiences. It exposed us to a different format. So that was a tremendous bump for us as well.
Wow, that's now just listening to you tell a story, I'm thinking, wow, we've been a part of each one of those.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've been together as long as they have. Yeah.
We've been a part of each one of those as an opportunity.
Yeah.
So now with that growth, and now like you said, having the area on lock and people knowing the brand and knowing the name, let's get into what it's like to survive as an entrepreneur, as a caterer, as someone that's providing a service to the masses, and still have people just say, you know what, now it's become a part of who they are, part of their community, part of their lives. But some of the bumps along the way when it comes to people say, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like. How hard is it to stay true to yourself when you kind of got that going on in the background? Because we talked to Ricky Moore earlier,
the salt box,
and he kind of broke out some stories and how things are. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think it's it's not hard to stay true to ourselves because we knew what we had when we came into it. In other words, we understood each other's and our relationship, the nature of our relationship. Our relationship is based on friendship foremost, so trust and respect is paramount. And so off of that foundation, we really had, I like to say, a two-headed monster. Both of us coming in with our own responsibilities, but we had synergies in different areas. So when we faced those difficult times, when we got through, when we dealt with the housing crisis and the recession in 08, 09, and 10, we knew how to maneuver. When we had to deal with COVID issues, we knew how to maneuver. And just the uncertainties of being an entrepreneur, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Right. Everybody's not going to have the stomach to endure the type of unrest and inconsistencies and not knowing that you're going to face as an entrepreneur. And so we talk about that struggle all the time. But, for us, it's the life we chose. So we accept that responsibility and the uncertainty that comes with it, and we just continue to forge ahead. We just try to keep a clear mind. Randy likes to say, as an entrepreneur, expect not to get money half the year because you just don't know.
Right.
And if you do, that's great. Stack that up because next year may be different for you. Right. So I think that's a big part of it. The nature of our relationship helps us. I know I could not have done what I do without him. And I don't know how he may feel the same way, but I just know I could have done it. It's just not possible.
That's special.
I say, in the nature of our relationship, I don't tell him how to spend the money. He doesn't tell me how to make the money. And that's a beautiful thing.
I tell you, I'm not sure you still have this moniker of almost famous because you are famous, but you used to be almost famous chicken and waffles. And it's funny, your initial, I guess, like all of us, we initially leave college and start careers, and we end up at different places. like you guys did. You guys are corporate America. Now you guys got your own. We're the same way. But talk about. You guys have made some segues into the sports arena, particularly with area basketball teams. I noticed that I saw you guys was feeding the Tar Heels after winning of the night, and then a lot of the Blue Devils come by and check you guys. And then other sports people talk about the relationships you guys have with them, if you will.
Yeah, I think our product certainly is appealing to a broad audience. But that demographic of the college-age student really is who were the first early adopters of our product. Going back to 2010 when we started, it was the college kids or the college-age folks, 18 to 25 and so forth, who really came in first and started to enlighten their friends about it. So I think it just makes sense that would carry over into the sports world because it's the same demographic per se. And we're fortunate enough to have had times when we were able to expose our product to the right people, and the right people made it happen for us. And they called upon us, whether it's the coaches or prominent players or what have you. So, the likes of North Carolina Central, NC State, Duke University, UNC Greensboro, our alma mater. That's always great. We also get a lot of calls from teams that are visiting the area. They've heard from their opponent about where to go, or from alumni from their universities that live in the area.
That's what you want.
They recommend them, and that's the greatest honor is that word of mouth advocate. So that's kind of how it's happened, and it just makes sense for us. We're both big sports fans. Allah, we're here today, so it just makes sense that we would do those types of things and be in front of those types of clients.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about.
Outstanding. So, Randy, I have to ask you this question. So, Dame is very charismatic. Dame, he never says no.
Right. Yes, he does to me, though.
Randy said, could have fooled me.
Give me a sense where one day where Dame calls you and says, "Man, I want to do this. We need to do this," and you say, "Come on, Dame, what are you doing?"
Pick a day.
Oh my goodness. That's something that happens daily. We have to bounce creative ideas off each other. And one thing about me and my position is I have to stay pessimistic a lot, and it's horrible because I want to do every single thing we can think of. Because when you have that freedom by being the owner, you should be able to do whatever you want to, but everything you want to do is not going to always be good for the business.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we come up with these great ideas all the time. It's like, man, we ought to blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting back, okay. But we bounce a lot of great ideas off each other, and some of them stick, some of them don't, Dame's come up with some of these great recipes in the restaurants, that he feel like, will grab a hold of someone. It will relate to the masses, and he's been right, you know what I'm saying? And then, every now and then, I'll come to Damien and be like, hey, man, we're not getting paid.
Hey, man, this is no joke, man. I told a good friend of mine, a mutual friend of ours, a few years ago, I said, man, I would have had a Ferrari if I'm not messing with this dude, man.
You living in it.
You live in it. That's right. Man, we are having an unbelievable conversation with two pillars of the community, guys that has really done extremely well, and the future is so bright for Dame's Chicken and Waffles owners, Damien, and of course, Randy. So let's get a little personal. So give me a couple of names of people that you can mention that's outside of God, that's primarily responsible for you guys being here talking about your restaurant and talking about your success. Who was those influential people that you could think about that allowed you to do what you guys are doing right now?
Oh man, I'll start with that one, man. I have a solid family supporting me. I got my wife, Beth. We've been together, 26, 27 years. I hope I got that right because I get my head cracked.
You already told me.
27, one of those up in there.
She just said several years.
Yeah, we've been together a long time. And, she's actually influential in the business, too. She has her business, Rue's Kitchen, where she does our dessert waffles, our specialty waffles, the red velvets and all that.
Okay.
But the biggest influence I have, that keeps me motivated would be my daughter. If you got a child, or someone that you're trying to show the ways of the world and show them that there's opportunity. That's my motivation to do it. Everything I do is just to make sure that she sees the hard work that goes into running a business. And what it takes to be partners with someone, because a lot of people can't partner with people and stay together and work together. You know, there's sacrifice on both ends.
Yes.
And I just want her to be able to see that and understand that.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say, we're both girl dads.
Yeah,
I have
that's what we all are.
Yeah,
Now think about it.
I have 2 daughters, and our children. And I found a picture where we took our kids out to Disney on Ice years and years ago. When they were babies, man. It just shows you how long we go back with that. But certainly the motivation comes from what you want to do for your family and the legacy you want to leave to that next generation, and that's it. And both of our sets of kids have worked in the business at some point, and they've seen it firsthand, and they realize that's not the path they want, and that's fine too. That's fine too.
Yep.
That's fine too.
Yeah,
but I think
my daughter won't touch a computer.
but I think they needed that exposure. They needed to have that exposure. So I would say, my children are first and foremost my motivation. As far as supporters, my mother has always been an advocate of me, regardless of whatever it was. Even if she didn't agree, she would tell you, I don't think you need to do that, and here's why. But in an odd kind of way, that's motivation too.
Yes.
And then when you go through the struggle, she's still going to undergird whatever you're doing. But that plays a big part of it. And obviously the mother of my children, because she afforded me the opportunities many times for me to be away from the house, so I could do what I needed to do for the business. Even if it was, oftentimes meaning I couldn't be at the home front to take care of certain things, she held that down during that time. So that was always big.
Awesome.
Outstanding. And lastly for me, man, we'll let you guys get out of here. I always ask this question is, as you went through this whole journey, you've gone through this journey, you guys have known each other since college. What's the one moment that you can think of that you had to sit back and say, okay, we got something special here. We're moving something here. We have something special.
Man, that's a tough one.
Hey, I know you hit them with that. Both of them, when they start leaning back like that, I said, that's a tough question.
Ain't gonna read S8 up there?
I'll go first while he thinks about it for a second. We started in 2010, in the fall of 2010. In the spring of 2011, I distinctly remember this day. This was one of the first weekends we had opened up on the weekends. And a senior woman was in the restaurant with her family, and this was our first store, so it was small, so I could see everything in the building from any vantage point. And she sat down with her family, and as I walked by her table, she stopped me and said, "Are you the owner?" I said, "Yes, I'm one of the owners." "Yes, ma'am." And she pulled out a Southern Living magazine, and she opened up. We had done an article with Southern Living. A feature story about chicken in North Carolina, and we were one of the 3 or 4 restaurants they featured, which was a major play for us at the time. To be less than 6 months old, right? I mean, Southern Living is on everybody's coffee table in the South, right? So she pointed it out to me and said, "This is why I'm here today, because I saw this article," and it hit me like an epiphany. It's like, wow, we have expanded and reached. Further than we expected to, a whole lot faster than I expected to, which presented a great opportunity, presented challenges too. When you grow faster than you expect, or have those blessings earlier than you expect, you still have to manage that. But that to me was a pivotal moment at the time when I saw her, and she probably was in her 70s at the time, and spoke to me in that way. I said, wow, it really does. It's a broad market that we have the opportunity to serve.
Randy?
And I think mine was more so, Damien deals a lot with the customers and the people. I'm more in the background, but I'm more focused on the business. And I think it was 2019 when we was nominated by UNCG through the Association for Fundraising Professionals, and we received a philanthropy award, from the Greensboro chapter of AFB. And I think that moment, that's when I realized, that we're more than just, someone who makes great coffee. I mean, great chicken, great waffles. We're a legitimate business that people are going to have to look up and say, hey, these guys are actually doing things on the business side that's actually carrying. We at one point had over 100 and some odd people employed in this area, giving jobs to people and just giving folks an opportunity who normally wouldn't have a chance to even get a job. We hand them that opportunity.
Now, that part you just mentioned, I hadn't really thought about that. That's pretty significant. 100 people.
That is outstanding.
Over that, I mean, that's pretty outstanding.
Tables, literally.
Yeah, I know.
That is outstanding.
Yeah, but let me just say this, guys. When you guys were nominated and selected for this, we was like, wow. Yeah. Somebody said, Somebody, I mentioned that. Somebody said, I thought they was already part of this. I said, no, but
They got it twice.
yeah. But no, man. Obviously, mass respect from what we do in terms of guys. What you guys do. You guys have been phenomenal. I mean, literally, pillar of the community and everybody. I mean, you set the example of how things should get done, and we are so proud of you guys, and proud of you guys to be part of this class because very much deserving.
Thank you so much for being an example of how to lead our young people in setting the standard. Mm-hmm. You want to own a business, you want to give back to the community. Thank you for setting the standard because a lot of people are watching.
Right,
a lot of young people are watching. They all want to be entrepreneurs. They all want to be own a business. They all have great ideas. But way to show them how to take great ideas, great friendship, great partnership, turn it into a sustainable business, and then be giving back on the back end. Thank you so much.
Man, just 1 second. I just want to give a shout out to our hardworking staff, from the dishwashers to the cooks to the managers.
Yes,
every single one of them that made us who we are.
And they take you guys' personality on too. Trust me. Trust me, they take your personality on.
I know, but I'll tell you, last time I was the one in Durham, I think I shared it with you. I think I called you. One of you, because the wait staff was so unbelievable, man.
They work hard.
They work hard. I'm like, they just make you feel like you at the house. You know, like you feel real comfortable. And you guys do a good job with that. So.
Oh yeah, and thanks for the season, man. You made me look like a superstar this weekend too.
You know what?
I use it all the time.
But he said you can only put on certain things, man. You can't put on everything.
I put it on chicken.
Put it on everything. Pork chops.
Hey, look, I put it on chicken. I put it on chicken.
That's funny.
But I also put it on the smoker. But that's okay. It worked out great. They were like, man, this is great. Where you get this? Well, that's my own special recipe.
Yeah, your special recipe.
Special recipe.
I tell you how to kill you.
Look, a lot of Daves and a pinch of salt. That's all you got to do.